for a segue.
Ooh, I like it.
Pretty
Good. 7:19 right now. Breakfast television. 660 off today. Tammie Sutherland, of course. Dina Pugliese, Devo Brown here with you. Let's talk about the coronation that's happening.
The royals.
Yeah, okay. Still up in the air whether Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will be attending King Charles's coronation. It's happening on May 6th, right?
Yep.
That's the date for that?
Yep, that's the date. Yep.
It's Archie's birthday?
Saturday, May
Harry and
6th,
Meghan's son.
Okay, so the Mirror reporting the royal family is fully expecting Harry and Meghan to attend, but it's not sure if they have actually accepted the invitation. Or has the invitations even gone out to them?
Well,
I think it's there, right?
Oh, I'm not sure if like actual physical invitations have gone out. Like, is it like wedding style where you do it like 2 months exactly before? Like, what's the etiquette?
Yeah, I feel like something like this, they would have to plan well in advance. Logistically, if they show up, I think you're going to see a lot more media there. It's going to be, and that's going to kind of dominate any headlines of the coronation, I would think.
This is where I'm at. Hello? Knock, knock, knock. Have they seen any of the headlines? We know that Papa Charles isn't picking up the phone going, hello, son, how are you? Everything doing good in Santa Barbara? Want to come to my coronation? No, there's no talking. It's press office versus press office.
Yeah.
It's we got to invite them, and what are they thinking inviting us? What? In what world are they going to be there for Archie's birthday? And by the way, if they do show up, everyone's going to be staring at Harry. Did you see the way he didn't look at his dad? Did you see the way he did look at Camilla? That's going to be the whole thing. It's a mess, unfortunately, no matter how you slice it, unless a miracle happens from now until May 6th.
Well, they say, according to the Mirror as well, Harry and Meghan, if they do go, they reportedly have a major stipulation that will determine whether or they will or will not show up. What could that be? We don't know. I don't
Birthday
know.
party for Archie. There you go.
In the middle of the
Done.
coronation.
Right there in the middle.
He wants
That's what I
clowns,
say.
he wants cupcakes.
A bouncy castle.
Yeah.
Everything.
That might be the
Love it.
solution to all their family woes. Really.
I love
A big
this.
bouncy castle.
A source says Harry isn't going to come home if he feels the atmosphere will be as toxic as it was during the Platinum Jubilee and the Queen's funeral. Have you heard what you said? It's all. How is it not going to be toxic?
And his memoir Spare.
It's going to be worse.
Yeah.
Because now that the memoir is out, now, like, after this, now we have the Netflix special, we have the memoir. This all came out after the Queen's death. So now this is, like, inflamed even more. Some of the stories, you read the memoir, some of the stories in there that you just heard leaked.
And that's the thing. It is the best-selling memoir, by the way, in modern history. 100%. Now, there's a clip that Talia posted where I talked about the book upon returning from a vacation. To this day, I get 10 to 12 messages, and it's polarizing. They're either like, this lady gets it, or she's out to lunch. It is so polarizing because of the things he says. And people who didn't read the book, you can tell. Because you guys know, I was like, oh, he's complaining too much. Oh, woe is me, until I read the book. So I say to all you people, please read the book. Don't just look at the clickbait headlines. And then decide for yourself, because Harry is incredibly self-deprecating. He doesn't pretend he's perfect. He talks about all his own flaws, but he's also done a lot of work, a lot of therapy, and he's very introspective in it. And at the end of the day, I do not agree with a lot of the stuff he said, because he does say he does not like Camilla. And he goes into detail why. He gives really personal accounts as to his brother and their rivalry beginning like from kids when it was ingrained. One is the heir and matters in royal terms. One is the spare and doesn't, to the point where, you know, they weren't all allowed to take flights together. But Harry didn't matter if he was, you know, flying with a bunch of people. Seriously, like, that's the way he writes. And so it's one of those things where the dysfunction runs so deep because behind closed doors, they're not allowed to just go, oh, that was crazy out there, eh? He said they always keep up the pretenses. There's so many times he wanted to hug his grandmother, the Queen. And he's like, I love my grandma. We would have a real great moment because he would make her laugh. But he's like, I can't hug my grandma because she's the Queen. It's that kind of thing. And even his dad, he would do a tender touch on the knee, but no hugs. So it was that constant, like the gilded cage that he talks about is real. Imagine you can't be like relaxed with your family and talk about stuff. So he's airing it out in his book because he feels that's the only way he could be heard. But at the end of the day, you could see he's craving that love and connectivity.
A lot of people think that that's not the way to do it. It's family business. You keep your family business and politics within the family, right? Instead of going out there. And I haven't read it, so I don't know. Like, do you side with him a little more, or are you more understanding of what he went through?
Listen, I always believe there's two sides to every story, and in the middle is the truth. I'm sure if William had stuff to say, we'd learn other things, or even Kate. There's very unflattering things written about Kate. Meghan Markle, I didn't really understand her until I read this book, because it's coming from someone who loves her, and he sees that sort of echoing of what happened to his mom in terms of how quickly everybody turns on her, and she's never good enough for a million reasons, and subject of racism and everything else. And so it does let you see very much into his psyche. He literally says he went to war to run away from the press. He would have to run out of a restaurant and go into the trunk of the car. Even with 2 cops present, people would attack him. His life was in danger. His wife's life was in danger many, many times. He put soldiers' lives in danger by serving. And it's crazy because he served. It wasn't just a glamorous little setup. His life was at risk. And he said that's the only time he felt peace. That's great. He wasn't afraid to die. That's where he was at. That's
why they like being in America so much, right? Because he's like, there's other important people for the press to chase after and take photos of. They don't have to come after me.
That's
It's
right.
a totally
That's why they
different
like it.
culture in the States when it comes to tabloid culture. In the UK, it's
Hounded.
just, you're absolutely hounded.
his mom.
And I haven't read the book, but just
Read
watching
the
the
book.
Netflix special, I did start to change my mind a little bit near the end.
The book will do
And-
it more so.
Yeah,
You're a little
okay.
more empathetic, right, to what they and he specifically has gone through.
Yeah.
When you
like
see
he said,
that
I was
stuff.
cut off from money when I decided, he didn't want the titles taken away. He wanted the titles and the security because that's all he had ever known. He went to school and there was always 2 security guards nearby. So in his mind, he's like, what do I do now? Because he wasn't allowed to serve anymore. He was a threat. He loved serving. And then he came up with the Invictus Games, which was amazing. And it helped so many people who were wounded in war. And at the end of the day, he's like, what do I do? I was never allowed to choose a career for myself. It was just being protected in this family. Trust me, read it. You'll see. You have to read it before you can really slam it away.
Let's see. I was going to say prediction right now. I think they show up. I think they go.
No, absolutely not.
I think
Not going.
absolutely not. Maybe Harry and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think so. I think
they're
they'll be there for their son's birthday.
Yeah.
That's his new.
I think it's worse for them publicly going forward if they don't show up. So let's see. May 6th, right? So we'll check on that.